Hey, this is James with JMC Custom Knife. I thought I'd share with you this build I'm working on. We're not going to go too much into the pattern welding part. There's plenty of videos out there on it. One thing I do want to do is show you how to add some character to the pattern. You know, we've all seen those blades that just have like 28 layers to them, and they're pretty straight. And you know, for the guys that make them, I was one of them. You know, that's pretty cool looking, but just a little tweak here and there can really add some character to the steel, and character does add value. So here's what I did. I started out with 1084, 52-100, 15N20, and a Nicholson black diamond file. And the reason why I did this, now it went Nicholson file, 15N20, 1084, and then alternated 52-100, 1084 to the last layer on the other side, which is 1084. You always want to put your simple carbon steels on the outside. Now the reason why I did this is as you're forge welding, and those of you guys that's done this, seen the black skill that comes off the steel as you're working it. This is partially your borax flux, but this is also your steel, and you lose a little bit every time with every heat. So after about the third fold, you've completely lost your first layer, and after about the third fold, the 52-100 doesn't want to weld to itself, so you end up with something like this. So save yourself trouble and avoid it, because this would not weld back up. I could probably save that if I wanted to, but so I took it and I welded it onto a handle. This is after the first fold. You can see how I run that file off the back side, so I know which way to go with it. I'm going to take it a few more folds. Okay, the forging is done. I got the heat treat and the blade polished up. And you see I got tape on the blade because it's going to be a little surprise. You see how this one turned out. First thing we're going to do, look at what we're going to use for the handle material. the customer has given me this piece of deer antler that was a shed that he had found, and he wants to use it on the on his knife. So we've got a real nice crown on the back side here. So we're going to probably do a 2-section handle to make everything work right. But since this is a Bowie knife, it needs a guard. So the first thing we need to do is get the tang to the right size. So we'll use a mic and make sure that it's at least the same size, if not smaller, tapering down. So we're going to get a piece of brass or bronze and make a guard for it. Okay, I'm using my Dremel. If you don't have one of these, man, get you one. They're well worth the money. Finished cutting my slot out. I got a 1/8 carbide bit. They're not cheap, but man, they save you a lot of time and money and effort. So we're going to do the cut now. Okay, so I got my guard polished up, it's fit up. Next step is going to be to braze a piece of 5/16 all thread onto the tang. You notice I got a little groove in it, fit in. So let's get that done. You can use okay, I got the rough fit up done. So I'm going to take and put a piece of dark wood in between. So let's a shoulder in there. It's going to give my nut and washer something to sit on. So we're going to start by mixing up some epoxy. It takes a lot to do these handles because you're filling in airspace. This stuff isn't going to hold the handle together, but it's going to support the handle and seal it up. Fill it in and let it run down inside of it. That nut's far down inside. The reason why I like to use a long nut is because it actually adds some counterbalance to the blade and helps the blade to feel better. The next step is just going to let it set up overnight, and then I'm going to cut the nut off and polish this down. I'm going to take a piece of antler and cover this up to make it a nice, neat looking unit. So here's the handle finished up. I come back in and cut that bolt off flush and then sanded it down. Then I took another piece of antler and put it on top there to hide the hole, and sanded it down. As you can see, it covers up that hole rather nicely. The cherry burl bronze guard. And so here's the finished blade. I don't know if pattern's coming through or not. So, does it make a good blade? That's leather.